Welcome to our restorative yoga class for inner peace and calm. I'm Caren Baginski, and some days it feels like there are so many uncertainties and things that can take us away from feeling centered and peaceful. This is a very simple class to help you return to that deep, unchanging feeling that always resides within. You'll need a few props, so get those and I'll meet you back here on your mat. Prepare 3 blankets, a hand towel, 2 blocks, and a flat bolster. Our first restorative yoga pose is supported standing forward bend. So you'll need both of your blocks for this. We'll be standing and then we'll bend forward and the head will be supported by the blocks. I suggest placing the blocks on higher heights to start, and then once you find out how far forward you can comfortably bend, you can lower the block setup. So let's place the bottom block here at the medium height, in the middle of the mat, and then the second block at the tallest height, right on top. Then come to standing, and with your feet hip distance apart, toes pointing forward, inhale, extend your arms all the way up overhead. Then exhale and fold forward, sending the curve into your low back by pushing your hip bones out and back. Fold until your forehead and the scalp area where the hairline is meets the props. You can bring the blocks into you to do so. Now, if you notice you need to bend the knees a lot here, do so. If you need to take the blocks up to higher heights or to lower heights, find the space now that is most effortless to hold this posture. Finally, with the weight forward into the balls of the feet, hold onto opposite elbows and let the arms hang. Breathe in and out through the nostrils. And allow every exhale to release some of the tension that you might feel in your legs, in your back, or your shoulders. You can always close the eyes if that feels comfortable, or keep a soft gaze downward. Go for minimal effort, maximum relaxation in every pose that we do together. Find a way to do less, to make it more full of ease. Feeling your body weight heavy into the floor with just a little bit of weight at the head. We'll invoke a sense of inner peace and calm with the word Shanti, which means peace in Sanskrit. Mentally repeat Shanti on each exhale. Inhale, gathering up any tension you feel. Exhaling, mentally repeating Shanti. With this exhale and the word Shanti, release the hands down. To either side of the blocks, just lift the head, scoot the blocks away. Press into the palms and walk back and down onto the knees, onto the toes. Let the heart come upright. And just observe as the heart arrives above the hips. With closed eyes or open eyes, any sense of freshness, of clarity, of lightness that might be here in the body. Continue this sense of grounding and calm as we move into our next pose, which is Surfboard. Move your blocks off the mat. With your rolled hand towel, you'll simply fold it over lengthwise once and then roll it up if you didn't already have that prepared. You're going to place this on top of a blanket that you put at the top of your mat. So for this blanket, you can use a square fold, and that's folding the blanket over 4 times, and then you've got the rolled blanket, place it on top. Grab your bolster, and this will go vertically up the center of the mat with a little bit of space here in between the bolster and the blanket. And then with a last blanket, we'll open it up Take the long side, roll it up, and place that at the other end of your mat. For a surfboard, we're lying face down with the forehead supported by the rolled towel. So arrange yourself with your ankles over top of the rolled blanket, facing the bolster. Walk your hands forward and adjust the bolster so that when you lie down on it, you'll feel your pelvis start to tip naturally downward toward the floor. So that might mean you need to adjust the blanket underneath your ankles. And then take your arms on top of the blanket, elbows dripped off the edges of the blanket, and lower the head with the forehead touching the hand towel. Before I leave you to rest in stillness, let's form a hand gesture called Adhi Mudra, or the gesture of primordial stillness. This will invoke a sense of peace and calm within. So with the palms, lift them up, tuck the thumbs into the hands, and wrap all the fingers lightly around the thumbs, forming light fists. Let the fingers come back down onto the blanket, just resting and hugging gently with the thumbs inside the hands. From this space, relax all tension in the arms, the shoulders, the back, and the legs. I'll offer an affirmation here for you to silently repeat a few times, or often to use it as a tool to calm the mind. The affirmation is, I rest in deep stillness and peace. I rest in deep stillness and peace. Giving your body weight over to the floor, over to the earth. Rest in deep stillness and peace until I bring you out. feeling peace and stillness seeped deep into your bones. Release the thumb from the grip of the fingers and open the hands. Allow a fuller breath to lift the whole back body. And on the exhale, walk your hands back by your sides. Pushing the palms into the floor, engage the knees, and lift the chest, pushing the hips back into a table position, walking the hands back as well. You can step off of the blanket that was underneath the ankles and come to a seat, whether it's cross-legged or sitting on your heels. Note how you feel, perhaps keeping the gaze low or the eyes closed. Breathing in and out into a sense of deep stillness. We'll transition into our final pose, which we will hold for quite some time, called Basic Relaxation Pose. Take your bolster and move it widthwise across the mat. Push it down toward the blanket roll that you already had here for your ankles. Then move the hand towel off to the side. With the blanket that you had here for Surfboard, we'll open it up so that the top fold lifts back by a couple inches from the bottom fold. Forming a headrest blanket, let's take the edges of the top fold, tuck it under. Then take the back two edges and tuck them under as well, curling the outer bottom blanket under all the way until you form a little nest for your head. The final blanket is up to you. You can drape it across your whole body so that you can stay warm, or you can just place it on your abdomen. Make sure that you will stay warm for this practice, since the body does tend to cool down when it rests in stillness. Now turn around to face the bolster and drape your legs over top of the bolster and the blanket for your ankles. You can keep just the bolster here. However, if you want a little bit more relaxation for your back, you can bring a block in, tipping the bolster up on its edge. Place the block right in between the legs on the lowest height so that the bolster is now quite high, and then readjust the blanket underneath the ankles. As you come to lie down on your back, nestle your head into the headrest blanket so that the bottom edges of the blanket support the shoulders. And then you can reach up and take the top back edges of the blanket and fold them under a little bit more so that your forehead is slightly higher than your chin. Grab your hand towel that was rolled, unroll it, and just drape that over top of your head. And then finally, grab the other blanket and either decide to place this over the whole body now or just over the abdomen for extra grounding. Readjust the eye covering over top of the forehead, the eyes, and around the ears so it drapes down on either side, blocking out light and shielding the ears from sound. Then open up the arms wide to a V with the palms face up. And check in with the body so that it's very comfortable. Comfortable enough to rest here for some time in silence and receive the deep peace that is your essence. It might not feel very peaceful right now, and that's okay. Just welcome the natural journey we all take, ebbing and flowing in remembrance of who we really are, beyond our personality and the circumstances of our lives. I'll leave you here in silence so that you can just be with you, exactly as you are. And when it's time, I'll bring you out. Allow a generous breath to flood the abdomen, the lungs, filling up into the back, and a soft sigh, maybe out the mouth, experiencing a little bit of movement after all that stillness. As you feel called to awaken, please take your time, making any gentle stretches or movements that feels good for you right now. Eventually, with eyes closed, taking the hand towel to the side so that you can start to see the light behind the eyelids. Pull the knees in, decide one side to roll onto and reach that arm overhead and just roll to that side, resting in a fetal position. Affirming once again your ability to rest in deep stillness and peace. Bringing this quality into your waking life, not just your practice on the mat. Push into the palms, slowly lift up, keeping the eyes closed if possible. Savoring these final moments of deep rest before all the responsibilities kick back in. Coming to any seat of your choice, place the palms together in Adhi Mudra at the heart. Let the head bow in slightly toward the heart center. Take a breath in and a calm breath out. Honoring all the teachers who have brought these practices to us and our own practice today. Relax the hands down and slowly let the eyes open, inviting light, gazing around the room, waking back up, and still noticing if you can keep that quality of peace and stillness within as you move about into the next part of your day. Such a pleasure to practice with you. As always, thank you for joining me. Give this practice a like if you enjoyed it. Let me know how you feel in the comments. I always love to hear about your practice. And if you like, subscribe so we can practice again together sometime. I'll see you then.